Time to Rise Summit. There comes a defining moment in every human life when comfort becomes more painful than change, when staying the same starts costing more than stepping into the unknown. That moment is called time to rise. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because the truth is, you were not born to live a small, predictable life trapped by fear, excuses, or the opinions of others. You were born with massive potential, unlimited energy, and a power so great that once unleashed, it can rewrite your destiny forever. The Time to Rise Summit is not an event. It is a wake-up call to your soul. It is the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start declaring, "This is happening for me." Most people live in survival mode. They wake up tired, chase goals they don't believe in, and fall asleep wondering why life feels empty. They don't lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They lack clarity, emotional mastery, and the courage to demand more from themselves. Tony Robbins teaches that success is 80% psychology and only 20% strategy. You can have all the plans in the world, but if your mindset is broken, your life will reflect that chaos. The Time to Rise Summit is designed to reprogram the way you think, feel, and act so that your actions finally align with the life you say you want. At this summit, you don't just learn, you experience transformation. You confront the limiting beliefs that have quietly controlled your decisions for years. Beliefs like, "I'm not good enough," "It's too late," "I don't deserve more," or "This is just how life is." Tony Robbins shatters these lies and replaces them with empowering truths that force you to step into your personal power. Because once you change the story in your head, you change the results in your life. The Time to Rise Summit teaches you that pain is not your enemy. Avoided pain is. Growth requires discomfort. Progress demands discipline. Greatness asks for sacrifice. Tony Robbins reminds us that people don't change because they see the light. They change because they feel the heat. And when you feel the urgency of your unrealized potential, when you realize how much life you've been postponing, something inside you awakens. You stop waiting for permission. You stop seeking validation. You rise. This summit pushes you to ask the hardest questions. Who do I need to become to live the life I truly want? What standards must I raise, emotionally, financially, spiritually? What habits must die so my future can live? Tony Robbins teaches that your standards define your destiny. Not your goals, not your wishes, your standards. If you tolerate excuses, you get average results. If you tolerate fear, you live a limited life. But when you raise your standards and decide, "This is who I am now," your behavior changes instantly. And when your behavior changes, your life has no choice but to follow. At the Time to Rise Summit, you learn to master your emotions instead of being controlled by them. You learn how to turn stress into strength, fear into fuel, and setbacks into setups for massive comebacks. Tony Robbins shows you how peak performers think differently, act decisively, and stay unstoppable even when life hits hard. Because life will test you, but it will never defeat you unless you quit. This is about more than success. It's about meaning, fulfillment, contribution, living a life where you don't just survive, you serve, you grow, and you impact others. Tony Robbins reminds us that the secret to living is giving, and when you align your success with contribution, you experience a level of joy no achievement alone can provide. The Time to Rise Summit is for those who are tired of playing small, for those who know deep down that they were meant for more. More confidence, more impact, more abundance, more freedom. This is where excuses end and ownership begins, where fear loses its grip and courage takes control, where you stop reacting to life and start leading it. because someday you'll look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point, the day you stopped settling and started rising. Not because life became easier, because you became stronger. And once you rise, there is no going back.